Hey everyone. So I wanted to have a super quick conversation about how I chose my realtor. So, first and foremost, a lot of you guys are realtors, and I am too. However, I don't do enough business to trust myself to sell or buy my own house. So I was like, okay, so I'm going to choose someone to buy my house, to help me buy a house, and choose someone to help me sell the house that me and my husband currently live in. So right now, we're actually in the process of selling our current home and moving to like a beach community. Okay. So I want to tell you the tale of like these two different realtors. So we walk into this house, we love the house, and there happened to be two agents there at the same time that were working the same exact open house. So my husband ends up going to the guy, and then the girl ends up coming to me. Okay. They're not on a team or anything like that. They're just two separate agents who happen to be co hosting the same open house. Okay. So what ends up happening is she comes up to me and she's like, let me tell you about how amazing and how great I am. And I'm like, ugh. Like she didn't say it like that, but in so many words, that's pretty much what happened. And I was immediately turned off. And essentially, I was like, okay, so what's her end game here? Like, what is she doing? And so essentially, I was like listening to her drone on and on and on about how many homes she sold and how great she is and how many awards she's won and blah, blah, blah. And the whole time I'm thinking to myself, like, I just came here to see the house. I don't really care about you. I don't care what you've done. Like, what's like, tell me about the community. Tell me about, why should I choose this home? Like, we're trying to go from like four cities down to one and then choose a community within one of those cities. And so I was asking her, I'm like, what is the benefit of living here? Like, I want to know about resale value. I want to know all of this stuff. And mind you, like, this is a community that I know nothing about. So I wanted to know everything. And she couldn't tell me. She was like, well, a little bit of this and a little bit of that. And I'm like, what are you talking about, lady? I was so mad. So anyway, so I'm like slowly start like slithering away. And I go over to where my husband is and he's talking to this guy. And my husband is like having the most engaged conversation with this man. And he's like, oh yeah, he's like, let me tell you this. And they're investing all this money in the harbor. And that's why like they're putting boat slips for 25-foot like all these yachts and all these things. And I'm like, oh wow. Like, so he's like, the reason why you should invest in this house is because they're putting all of this money into the harbor. And so the resale value in all of these homes is about to go up dramatically for that reason. He talked about the school systems. He talked about why we should invest in certain communities. And he named communities we hadn't even thought about. And then he's like, well, if your husband works off of the freeway, you definitely want to stay away from this city because it's going to take you 25 minutes just to get to the freeway. And I was like, oh, we didn't even think about that. So, all in all, the moral of the story is that, like, the tale of two agents is that one of the agents, we walked up to her and she spoke solely about herself. And then the second agent walked up to him and he told us everything about the home, the community, the school district, the harbor, the freeways, access routes. I mean, everything that you could possibly imagine. He told us about that community and we were just blown away. Like, blown away. Needless to say, he is the agent that we're choosing to buy the house in that community. So I'm really, really just wanted to like come to you guys and tell you, when you are meeting people, whether it's online, in person, wherever, it doesn't really matter, then it's like you really do need to be focused on less on yourself and more on your community. That is what I teach. That's why it's called the Community Influencer Show, right? You want to make sure that in this day and age, in modern marketing, you are putting your community first because no one cares. I don't even know if they ever cared, like, about all of your accolades. Like, maybe we care. Like, I love you. I care. I think it's great. I'm proud of you. But like, your community doesn't care about that. And your buyers and your sellers, they don't care. They want to know what's in it for them. And what's in it for them is you telling them every single thing that is the amazing reasons why they should sell their house and move to a different area of town, or why they should come and buy a house with you if they're coming from out of town, all of the above. And in our case, we knew nothing about the community. We needed a guide, we needed someone to take us through all of the things that we needed to know. And the first agent just didn't do that. And what I'm starting to understand and what I'm starting to realize is that, you know, no one's doing that. It's amazing to me how many times I go into a community and the agent just doesn't even tell me anything about what's going on. And it's like, why would I choose you? It's just, why? There's no reason. You're just like every other agent out there. There's nothing that's separating you. So, moral of the story, again, guys, is talk about your community, learn about your community, and then lead with that. You're going to get many more leads, sales, referrals, shares, engagements, comments, posts, etc. when you lead with your community first. Okay. So, if you don't know how to do that and you are wondering, okay, great, Erin, like I get it, but how? How do I do that? Then I've got some information for you. So, what I want you to do is I want you to join our Facebook group. So, go to honeybarmedia.com/group. Again, that's honeybarmedia.com/group and join our free Facebook group. And it's all about community influencers. And that's this Facebook group for this show. And I cannot wait to see you there. So, I'm going to check for comments real quick and then we'll go ahead and wrap this up. Thank you all for joining today, by the way. I really appreciate you being here. Awesome. So I think that's it. If you have comments, no problem. Just go ahead and put them into the comment box, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.